Hello, welcome again. We are in week 3 and this is episode 11 of the Coronavirus Daily. And I am Ajay Poonia. The truth is, the situation of the pandemic still looks grim. We are still at a point where it will get worse before it gets any better. So, to cheer us up, and as a reminder of what all of us must attempt to do in this fight against the virus, I have an excerpt from a poem by Mahmoud Darwish. It's called Hona, or Being. Although it was written in a different context of nationalism, right now, the biggest service you can do for the country is by being. So here goes. हम यहाँ खड़े हैं, बैठे हैं, यहाँ हैं, अनश्वर यहाँ, और हमारा बस एक ही मकसद है, होना. Then it talks about certain national identities on which we can argue later. He says in the poem we can argue about those national identities later, so I'll just skip to the end. हम प्रतिशत पर असहमत होंगे, निजी पर और सार्वजनिक पर. हम हर एक चीज पर असहमत होंगे और हमारा एक ही मकसद होगा, होना. उसके बाद मौका मिलता है और मकसद चुनने का. So, a reminder, stay home, stay safe. The date today is 6th April, Monday. First, the uncertain. So, as the date for the end of the lockdown in India comes near, the business community has begun talking about reopening. That is, if the relaxation post-lockdown allows you to open. It's not like the virus will die on 14th April. If you open, you will still have to fight the mother of all battles by maintaining good hygiene. But when suppliers have gone out of business, when supply chains have broken down, when customers are gone because they're scared or have found alternatives, or worse, their own business is ruined, then restarting isn't exactly going to be flip of the switch. What may happen, however, is businesses will pivot. Look at schools. Within a week, a lot of them have pivoted to online classes. Or even new businesses may emerge. I don't know, air conditioners, airflow, maintenance technologies, sanitation technologies, advanced diagnostics, or as we saw, the berserk firecracker bursting behavior yesterday, maybe some microorganism killing lights, go Corona. Okay, so now there is some ray of hope. India has now okayed antibody tests for the coronavirus. As opposed to the PCR test, the antibody tests are conducted in a herd. A positive result would mean the person has antibodies against the virus after being exposed to it. But a negative would mean the persons have either not been infected or are yet to develop antibodies after being infected. However, not everybody will be given those tests. Only those with symptoms will be included. This will be the first time India will use serology for detection of disease. But what are other countries doing? As I mentioned last week, so US started doing this 10 days ago. The UK has stocked up on more than 40 lakh finger prick antibody blood tests. It's also used in China and Singapore. Now coming back to India. A lot of private players, when I say a lot, I mean 150, almost about that number, have expressed desire and showcase capability to manufacture these test kits on a large scale. But as much as I would like to trust the efficiency of these players, we must remember that quality can be a concern. Remember, Chinese kits were being returned from EU countries last week, or for even companies with EU certification. So we do need to pick up pace, but some caution needs to be exercised or we'll just waste time, a luxury that we don't have. And now for the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. The big question, how to end COVID-19? Well, there's only one answer to that, and that is vaccine. That is it, vaccine. Although, even before that, it may happen if the virus mutates into something less potent or less infectious. How miraculous would that be? Everybody's praying for that. But what if it mutates into something worse? Then, the exponential graph will become parallel to the y-axis and party over. Well, calm down. Before that happens, the human survival programming will build a vaccine using various existing technologies. It is just a matter of time now. We know that flu shots are needed periodically because that virus mutates. But COVID-19 is fundamentally different from flu viruses. The novel coronavirus genome is made of one long strand of genetic code as opposed to flu virus that has eight genomic segments. That's why flu has a very special ability. We do hear reports that the novel coronavirus is already mutating into new strains, but these mutations are minor and they're unlikely to add up to anything significant. In the case of SARS-CoV-2, very few of the changes we've seen so far would affect a vaccine. But if such changes do accumulate over time, our vaccine program will be able to keep up. So be assured, a vaccine is coming. Till then, you know what you have to do. Social distancing, remember? The bad news is that Nadia, a 4-year-old in Bronx, New York, has developed dry cough and has tested positive for COVID-19. Her sister Azul and 5 others have also reported dry cough. But with a country with 300,000 plus cases, why was this worth singling out? That's because Nadia and friends are all tigers. Yes, in the Bronx Zoo. As of now, it is not known how this disease will develop in big cats, since different species can react differently to the infection. But the good part is that all of them are expected to recover. But I just want to know, who heard the tiger coughing and thought, how about we do a corona test? And then convince the tiger to sit down for a swab test. And now, the ugly. China. Some of you must be wondering how China has brought under control discovery of new positive cases every day. Well, I won't get into conspiracy theories of hiding numbers, or I will, we'll see. But there is one thing that they certainly do, is that China does not count asymptomatic cases. Asymptomatic cases make up more than 50% numbers on an average. But that can go as high as, say, 85%, like in Maharashtra, or as low as 25%, as the United States CDC said. China, however, says that since more than 2/3 of asymptomatic cases actually become symptomatic, and then they include them in the confirmed cases. But even if those numbers were included, yesterday they reported 39 symptomatic cases. Day before, they reported 30 symptomatic cases. The inclusion of asymptomatic cases will still keep the daily numbers very low. So cumulatively, the story they're perhaps telling us is, actually we have thousands of cases too, but we don't tell you that because they're asymptomatic. Before I go, the funnies. Are you fed up of the isolation? You are, aren't you? Well, if it's any solace, you're not alone, because that's how it is for about 3 billion people. But we can all do very well in this doom and gloom period with a bit of humor. And so, a British postman, Glenn Walton, has started delivering letters to cheer up residents stuck in their houses wearing various fancy dresses. Sometimes he dresses up as a robber, sometimes as a wrestler, a princess, or even Pikachu. So cool, right? Okay, before I close, there's a little bit of an announcement. Time has slowed down. Sorry, that wasn't the announcement. I'll come to it. From the early days, a decade equivalent of fortnight ago, when I actually started out with the coronavirus daily, since that time, there hasn't been much of a progress on a daily basis. So that's what I meant by saying that time has slowed down. You might think that newspapers are coming every day. Fair enough. Online news portals publish something hourly, but honestly, that's all just to keep themselves busy and maybe just to keep you busy as readers. Honestly, there isn't much to talk about because the vaccine creation is hard work and it will take time. We are still some months away from it. So there's really no point checking in every day when there isn't a lot of progress. It is a little bit of a discomfort to say that, but that is the truth. We are still in very early days of this fight, and there is a long struggle ahead of us. So, goodbye, wash your hands, And see you not tomorrow, but day after.